There's no such thing as a small disaster. So when you call 1-800-WATER DAMAGE of North Dakota, we come prepared to restore your life back to normal. From burst pipes to unexpected mold discoveries or fire damage, when things couldn't be worse, we come to you with our best. With empathy, local expertise, and a truck full of seriously powerful equipment. 1-800-WATER DAMAGE of North Dakota. Restoring what matters most. 701-670-2022.
Good morning and welcome to this Valley News Now weather update brought to you by 1-800-WATER DAMAGE of North Dakota. I'm meteorologist Lisa Green with a look at our forecast for today. We've got some weather today that is going to be a little bit on the cold side, or a lot on the cold side compared to where we've been. So we're going to do a check-in on that, but we're also going to talk about what you see behind me. First alert weather days for Thursday and Friday. We've got our next clipper moving in, and that's going to bring about some interesting experiences here. We're looking out for some snow, but mainly the wind combined with the snow is going to be our biggest impact here coming up for Thursday and heading into Friday. And that's going to be part of a bigger overall change of some colder air coming our way. We already had one Arctic front move through last night. We're going to see another one come through heading into Thursday night and into Friday. So let's get right to it here. We do again have first alert weather days for Thursday and Friday. Specifically, I would say more Thursday afternoon, heading into overnight, and then continuing throughout the day on Friday for that snow and blowing snow potential. So I do want to talk about what to expect. So we're going to break down in our travel planner here what we can expect over the coming days, so you can plan out your travel times and hopefully choose a time to travel if you can where impacts will be a little bit less here. So let's do a little overview of the coming days. So for today, we've got green lights, low impact weather here for you, other than the fact that it's just cold, colder than it's been, and definitely feeling it. You'll want that winter survival kit in your car with the warmer gear in case you run into car trouble. You don't want to get caught out in that with some of our temperatures we're experiencing now, and generally speaking, pretty quiet. The wind from last night, the intense wind, that is coming down, and it's a little bit of a quieter day here for today. Let's take a look at the next day, Thursday, one of our first alert weather days. I'm increasing our impacts to the yellow caution light. We're going to be seeing that wind increasing first. It's going to be a breezy day all day long, and then snow showers developing afternoon into the evening. Perhaps a quick shot in the morning. I'll explain that coming up in your hour-by-hour planner, but a chance for some snow showers. And this is going to increase travel impacts over time. So the later in the day you're traveling, the greater the chance that the weather could be impacting your travel going on into the late night hours Thursday night, and then this continues into Friday. And this will be our highest impact travel day. Red light for you here. And so we're looking out for the possibility for low visibility, whiteout potential conditions at times. It may not be widespread, but there may be areas experiencing it. And we'll be watching for that to be a possibility for the entire day, essentially, on Friday, with the wind and the blowing snow going on. And then just on top of that, some roads that have snow on them. So it's not just going to be low visibility, but slick too, as we've got some accumulations going on. So this continues into Friday evening. And even on Saturday, morning hours, we'll still have a little bit of wind going on. It won't be as intense as Friday night, but still some drifting. We'll still be kind of recovering from the snow from Friday. So Saturday is still going to be an impactful travel day. It will be better than Friday. But even this weekend doesn't look fantastic for weather. We've got potential for more wind, again, as we head into Sunday too. So we're going to talk about all of this coming up here. But let's talk about what we've got going on right now. So we've had some sunshine this morning. You can see our camera's pointed to the southeast. This is in West Fargo, looking from the Red River Valley Fairgrounds. You can just see right there, that Sanford Hospital in the view. We've had this beautiful blue sky morning, but clouds have been drifting in from the northwest. Our first signs already of the system that's going to be coming our way heading into tomorrow and into Friday. So a few more clouds at times here. And the big difference you're going to notice when you step outside is how much colder it is. It's currently 5 below in Roseau and 4 below in Badette. Detroit Lakes is at 1 below zero, and a bunch of zeros here. Langdon, Hallock, Thief River Falls, Bemidji, all at 0 right now. And so these locations are the coldest in northwestern Minnesota. And a reminder, this black line, that's our computer taking that 0-degree mark wherever it's 0 and plotting that black color there to create that cutoff line. Those places on this side of it are at or below 0, and places where we've got temperature reports above 0 are on the other side. So Fargo right now it's 4. We've gone up a couple of degrees. We were at 2 earlier this morning. Grand Forks is at 3, which this is not unusual. Our average high, or excuse me, average low for today's day is 0 in Fargo. So we're actually right where we would expect to be this time of year. It's just been so warm, so incredibly warm, that the difference from yesterday to today is notable. And then you add the wind to the mix, and we've got wind chills into the teens below 0, 13 below in Fargo, 10 below in Grand Forks. We're looking at 22 below 0, our wind chill right now in Badette, so in that range where it's really not fun to be outside. And you'll want to layer up, wear that heavier coat as you're stepping out the door this morning. And I want to do that comparison. So this might be a little confusing with the minus signs here on the map and then the numbers, because we've seen these kind of numbers before. But this is what we call the 24-hour temperature change map. So these numbers, what they mean is it's that much colder than this time yesterday. If we were warmer than yesterday, there'd be a positive sign here. So, for example, Fargo, right now at 10:09 in the morning, it is 33 degrees colder than it was this time yesterday. So our temperature, was it 4? I think it was. So this time yesterday, we were at 37 degrees above 0. So we are definitely on the cold side. And then there are places that have been as much as 40 degrees colder than where we were this time yesterday, places like Badette right now. So again, and Badette is at 4 below right now, so definitely a lot colder than yesterday there too. So that's remarkable to see that big of a difference in the winter time. And so let's take a look at what we've got going on for winds. We've got wind speeds that are much lighter, a few areas where we're still in the upper teens. Augusta 17 in Fergus Falls, a steady sustained wind of 17 in Sisseton. Brainerd checking in at a 23 mile per hour gust if you're heading that way. But you can see the wind overall is out of the north. We're still getting that northerly flow for the valley. But notice over toward Bismarck and Minot, we're seeing some wind starting to shift to a more southerly direction. And that change is coming our way for later tonight. And that will be another sign of the clipper that's coming our way. We're going to see that wind shift and warmer air start rushing in as that clipper is approaching. So current conditions here. We've got your radar and satellite map, lots of blue sky over to the east. Here's this area of clouds, this cluster of clouds dropping south. You can make it out a little bit here. It's kind of hard when we've got infrared satellite and a snowpack as well. So this is to see here on the infrared. But you can see that eastern parts of North Dakota seeing some clouds drifting in. So a little cloudier. Could have a few flakes and flurries up along the border right now. You see some blue on the map there. Let's expand the view. And this is all drifting in, extending all the way from that low that's in parts of Alberta and Saskatchewan and the northern part of those provinces. Eventually, as this moves east, we'll see, I don't have our fronts on the map here yet, but looking at that warm front moving through tonight and into tomorrow, and then that second Arctic front will sweep in behind that low as it continues to move east, and that's going to drop in the snow showers for us coming up for tomorrow and into Friday. So here's our hour-by-hour planner. We're going to move ahead to noon. You can see that we've got that potential for some clouds here for today in parts of North Dakota, more sunshine in Minnesota. We've got temperatures that try to climb, but it is going to be cool. We're looking at some single digits to some teens this afternoon. Warmer temperatures where we'll start to see that wind turn around over toward the James River Valley, more into the low 20s there this afternoon. But as we make our way into the evening hours tonight, notice what's happening for everybody. We're starting to see that wind coming in out of the south and that turnaround happening. So by the time we get into the 11 o'clock hour, we're not really getting that nighttime cooling like we typically do when the sun sets. We're actually holding steady, and we'll continue to see our temperatures go up with that warmer air rushing in. You can see our gusts are starting to pick up out ahead of this low. Now here comes the warm front. It may produce a little bit of snow activity with it, so that front works its way through. We'll see, a few areas where we may see a few snow showers in the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. We're going to pause the clock here at 8 a.m. That moves on. We get into the warm sector of this system. You can see temperatures at 8 a.m. are already at 31 degrees in Jamestown, and we'll see that surge of warmth initially. But eventually the colder air will start to spill in as the clipper continues to move through. So a reminder, that's today into tomorrow morning. So relative break right now for active weather. And then heading into tomorrow morning, it starts to ramp up with the wind starting up. So for your Thursday and Friday, we have first alert weather days for this one system. It's going to kind of straddle Thursday night and then all Friday with some blowing snow adding to the mix. Of course, some accumulation of snow too. Our current snowpack, it's pretty crusted over because we've warmed up so much that we've had melting. I've seen bare ground on some cameras recently, so there's been some melting out there. If we still have a snowpack, and a lot of us do, it's melted and then crusted over, so there's that kind of hard, icy surface. It doesn't mean it can't get picked up and blown around with a strong enough wind, but it's less likely to. So it's really the new fresh snow that we're watching out for coming up here as we head into the forecast for today, or for Thursday and into Friday. That will be the cause or the impact that we'll experience to go with the wind as far as reducing our visibility. So the snow on the ground not as easily picked up here with this particular round. So we'll be waiting for that falling snow to start causing our issues with visibility. And again, that may not happen until we get into Thursday night. So again, we are looking out for wind and snow. Let's take a look at the next couple of days temperature-wise. Again, we get that initial surge of warmth heading into Thursday. We're going to see that wind increase and then that chance for some snow showers. And then Friday will be the day we're getting snow and wind, and you can see our temperatures are staying below freezing in the teens for Friday with that colder air spilling in. So roller coaster ride continues. We were at 40 yesterday in some areas and Monday as well. And then today, of course, we know it's much colder. Tomorrow we go up and then we're back down again heading into Friday. And it's after that we kind of settle in for some colder air for that second half of January. So let's take a look at what to expect over the next couple of days. We're going to kick things off here around 10 a.m. So we've seen that potential for, a few snow showers moving through with that initial push of the warmer air. And then this is, again, 10 a.m. Thursday. And then heading into your Thursday afternoon, I'm pausing here at 3 p.m. At this point, there is the potential we'll have some ongoing snow showers. So there will be some areas that aren't seeing anything yet at that point, and then other places that could already have some snow starting up. So for travel timeline, again, afternoon hours may be a time where it's already beginning. And we're going to focus on snow right in this particular graphic, and then we'll talk about wind coming up after we step through your snow timing. So some scattered snow showers starting up Thursday afternoon. There may be a larger area of snow that sets up east of us into Minnesota, and then we'll more likely be seeing these areas of scattered snow showers continue Thursday night and overnight and into Friday. We'll just step through here. And you can see these kind of streamers of snow kind of following that wind here as we head into the overnight hours heading into Friday morning. This is 6 a.m. The wind is on the stronger side. I think the wind will be strongest in central and western North Dakota. That's where that high wind watch is in effect. And you can see that on our website if you head to our weather page and go to our maps section, and you can see where those alerts are. But right now it's the James River Valley and our viewing area that's under that high wind watch for Thursday afternoon and then heading into Friday afternoon. So that's when that is going to be in effect. So that's where the strongest winds will likely be, but we'll get in on it too. This after I just said we'll talk about winds in a minute. I'm getting into winds already. Let's get back to the snow. So we've got these areas of snow moving through on Friday, some scattered snow showers continuing into Friday afternoon. One thing to stress here is we're not looking at like one uniform shield of snow over the valley. This is going to be scattered snow showers. So impacts will be varied and experiences will be varied as well in the valley. Some of us may not see a lot of snow. Other places may get, back-to-back rounds of it moving over, and so continued impacts throughout the day. If you're traveling, you may be driving down the road and, kind of dealing with some drifting, but it's not terrible. And next thing you know, you run into one of those little snow squalls moving through, and suddenly your visibility is down to zero. So that's a possibility too. So this is kind of a little bit different scenario, but still one that has the potential for some impacts as we continue on through the day on Friday. So let's move on into Friday afternoon. You can see that snow continuing to be a possibility, but it's not. The scattered snow is not as widespread as we were seeing in the morning hours. You can see a few streams here coming through heading into Friday night. And this may also continue as we head into Saturday morning as well. 1 or 2 isolated bands of snow drifting through the valley. So again, snowfall amounts, not a huge amount of snow, but it's that combination of the wind and the falling snow and anything that accumulates on the ground that will lead to tough travel for low visibility. So here's a look at our wind gust forecast now. Keeping this a little bit more general here instead of looking at specific numbers. Areas in yellow, that's that 15 to 30 mile per hour gust range. Areas in orange, 30 to 45, and areas in red, 45 to 60 miles per hour. It's important to notice that, remember that as we step through this. So this is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We've got gusts up to 30, maybe a couple of pockets of orange there. And then moving on into the afternoon, it's really picking up. And again, central western North Dakota, really the focus for that potential for 45 plus mile per hour gusts in red. But a lot of places in eastern North Dakota by Thursday afternoon, we'll be seeing gusts 30 to 45 miles per hour. And then continuing on into the overnight hours and into Friday morning, you see that orange area of 30 plus spreading into more of the heart of the Red River Valley and into parts of our Minnesota viewing area as well by Friday morning. So I think our greatest impacts are going to be morning hours on Friday, where we're going to see some of our toughest wind, and that coincides with still more areas of falling snow. And then areas in red, you can see even spread into the James River Valley. So again, that's in that 45 to 60 mile per hour range for gusts. Moving on into the noon hour, widespread wind. And looking at the highest wind gusts, again, more concentrated in central and western North Dakota, but everybody in orange here in the valley, by Friday evening, we're looking at gusts 30 to 45 miles per hour still ongoing. And as we continue on into Friday night, this is when we start to see signs that it's going to start coming down, start to taper a bit. But it is still gusting into some 30 plus mile per hour areas on Saturday morning. This is around 6 a.m. It's not really until we get into afternoon that we see that start to come down, and still breezy, but not intensely gusty here heading into Saturday afternoon and early evening. Now I do want to move ahead just a little bit here because we do have the potential for another increase in wind as another quick shot of instability moves through, as another wave moves through. So on Sunday, this is Sunday morning, we're right back into that 30 plus mile per hour range, even getting up to that 45 range possible Sunday afternoon. So I don't think the weekend's going to be a picnic either. I think Saturday afternoon, if you need to travel, is probably your best time frame, but that's still a few days away, so check back before you hit the roads. Make sure things are still looking best around that time. But overall, we've got the potential for some wind and some blowing snow anywhere where we pick it up throughout the course of the next couple of days. So there's our wind gust forecast. Let's talk snow potential. This is through Saturday morning, so it doesn't count the wave I just mentioned Saturday night and into Sunday. We're just focusing on our first alert weather days, Thursday, and then Friday and overnight Friday into early Saturday. Notice how there's a large area of purple here on the map up along the international border in Minnesota, the Boundary Waters area, more east of us, and then stretching north into Ontario. That's in that 5 plus range. And so that's where I think the more widespread, heavier snow will be. But we've got everyone with some color on the map here in the valley through Saturday morning, meaning we all have a shot at picking up some snow. There's going to be a lot of areas in this kind of opaque, lightest blue color where we're in that 1 to 2 range. But there are several spots, both in North Dakota and in Minnesota, where we're looking at 2 to 4, maybe even as high as a couple of pockets in that 5-inch range, especially if that heavier snow shield sets up a little bit farther west. Some of our eastern viewing area may get a little heavier snow. But we're not looking at a foot of snow here is what I'm trying to stress. It's going to be several inches for some of us. Some may miss out. Again, these are scattered snow showers, so the nature of them is going to create scattered snowfall amounts. And on top of that, it's going to be windy, so there's going to be blowing snow too, so it's going to be tough to get those most accurate measurements that we could get. But still, we'd love to hear from you if you are able to get out and take some measurements once it's all said and done. And even as the event is ongoing, we'd really appreciate hearing from you. That way we know what we're working with as far as snow and impacts throughout the valley. So you can do that right on our Facebook page. You can do that on our comments on our social media posts as well. So again, looking at a system that it's the combination of some snow and some wind. That's going to create some problems for us as we head into Thursday night and especially into Friday. Let's take a look at our 11-day planner. Next couple of days, wild swings. We're going up and down here. Do you remember yesterday we were at 40 in some spots? Well, again, today we're back down into the single digits and teens for highs. And then moving on into Thursday, right back up again as warmer air is rushing into this clipper as it's making its presence known. And then the cold front, the Arctic front sweeps through, and we're going right back down again to dropping temperatures likely through the day on Friday, so decreasing temperatures. And then snow showers, so scattered snow mixed in with that wind on Friday too. That will create some visibility problems on the roads, some drifting causing slick spots on the roads as well on Friday. So up and down temperatures, but after tomorrow's surge, we're really going to be into some much colder temperatures coming up here, heading into the weekend and beyond. Again, this weekend is not going to be great. You know, I was hoping Sunday would be a little quieter once the system moved through, but we've got that next chance, that next wave dropping in, a little clipper that has the potential to bring some snow Saturday night and into early Sunday, and some wind with that too. And temperatures that in the morning hours will be starting off below zero. So if you're excited about the snow, want to get out and do some winter activities outside after we get, you know, maybe a couple of inches of snow in spots, just know it's going to be cold. You'll want to layer up and dress for so much colder temperatures. And then continuing on into next week and beyond, it is looking a lot colder. Our very long range models still showing another, you know, kind of extra push of cold air toward the end of the month. And we do have Saturday, the 24th, staying below zero. It's possible we could have, you know, several days in a row below zero toward the end of January. So definitely January doing what January does and bringing us some pretty cold temperatures. This is statistically, from that average high and low standpoint, the coldest time of the year for us from that climate standpoint. Of course, we haven't been experiencing the weather like that this year, at least this first half of the month. But the second half of the month definitely moving into more cold January territory. So again, it is going to be an interesting round of weather coming our way as we are working our way into the second half of the month and the end of the week here this week on our first alert weather days, Thursday and Friday. I'm going to bring up our 11-day planner full screen here. And if you'll just wait a moment, I'm going to check if we have any questions that I can answer for our viewers on Facebook who are following along. No questions or comments yet. Okay, guys. If you ever have any questions, we'd really appreciate hearing from you here. You can go to our Facebook page if you're watching on our live stream. You can pop up on our Facebook page and comment there. And in addition to that, of course, you can always check back with us. We'll, of course, be keeping you up to date and be on a lot over the course of the next couple of days, keeping you informed about this next blast of winter weather. It's going to be one that is yet again on the, well, more unpleasant side after we've had such mild weather lately here in the valley. So again, it's looking like Thursday night heading into Friday being our days of greatest impact. And that means that travel may be difficult, especially on Friday morning when we're still getting more of the snow. If it lingers more into Friday, there's the potential that those travel issues will extend further beyond the morning hours, well into the afternoon. And of course, we'll already have picked up snow, so that's just going to get picked up and blown around. So basically, throughout the day on Friday, we're looking out for that possibility for snow to be, and blowing snow to be an impact until we can see those temperatures, or excuse me, those wind speeds start to come down. And that may not happen until late Friday night and perhaps into Saturday morning. So again, first alert weather day, Thursday, Friday. Today is cold now in the wake of that system, or that cold front that moved through last night. We've got a couple of Arctic fronts moving through this week that are creating some issues for us. And we'll be up back here. The afternoon crew will be back here to bring you an update on the latest models this afternoon. And of course, you can always check the VNN weather app, valleynewslive.com, for the latest conditions. And I'll be back here tomorrow around this time to talk about the latest on our first alert weather day. At that point, we'll be tracking some of that snow working its way through the region. The wind will have already picked up, and we'll be just kind of beginning the impacts from this system that's going to be making its way through. So in the meantime, enjoy those areas that are getting some sun. It is going to be cold, so I want to make sure you're wearing your heavier winter coat today. I know I had to get mine out, and it still felt pretty chilly stepping outside. So stay warm, and we'll talk to you again here tomorrow.
There's no such thing as a small disaster. So when you call 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota, we come prepared to restore your life back to normal. From burst pipes to unexpected mold discoveries or fire damage, when things couldn't be worse, we come to you with our best. With empathy, local expertise, and a truck full of seriously powerful equipment. 1-800-WATER-DAMAGE of North Dakota. Restoring what matters most. 701-670-2022.